Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Darate Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sham. Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitam Cha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Yate Grim Yat Kripatam Hang Vande Sri Guru Devata. So welcome dear devotees to our discussion on the nectar of devotion. So in the previous chapter, in the 11th chapter, we have discussed the Angas of Bhakti up to the 53rd one. So today we will continue from chapter 12. Further aspect of transcendental service. Yeah, previously in chapter 11, we have discussed all the items of devotional service mentioned, focusing on the hearing and remembering. Scriptural evidence is given for items 54 through 64 of the 64 Angas of Bhakti, 5 of which are considered to be the most potent forms of devotional service, with emphasis on festivals and the 5 most potent forms of devotional service. Okay. Hearing the revealed scriptures. In the Skanda Purana, there is this statement: a person who is constantly engaged in reading literature, enunciating the cultivation of Vaishnava devotional service, is always glorious in human society, and certainly Lord Krishna becomes pleased with him. A person who very carefully keeps such literature at home and offers respectful obeisances to it becomes freed from all sinful reaction and ultimately becomes worshipable by demigods. Yeah. It is also said to Narada Muni, my dear Narada, a person who writes Vaishnava literature and keeps such literature at home has Lord Narayan always residing in his house. So not only we are studying the scriptures, but also we are advised to worship the scriptures. Yeah. For example, like in Gita Jayanti, we worship the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, we perform arati to the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, on the Bhadra Purnima, we worship the Srimad Bhagavatam. So any Vaishnava literature, if we simply keep them nicely in our house and just offer obeisances to this literature, yes, so much sinful reactions will be cleansed off from our heart, yes, from our life, and life becomes auspicious. Actually, as it is mentioned here, that whenever we keep some Vaishnava literature, Lord Narayan is automatically residing in our place, because that's the meaning of the word absolute. Yes, absolute truth. So Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, the glorification about Krishna, all are absolute, meaning on the same level, non-different from Krishna himself. So when we keep the Vaishnava literature in our house, and what to speak of reading it, studying it, yes, so much more benefit we'll get. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that we just keep the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam without reading it at home. So we should respect the literature. That's what does it mean here. Yes. And then residing in Mathura, yeah, Mathura Vasa. In the Varaha Purana, there is a statement praising the residential quarters of Mathura. Lord Varaha tells men of earth, any person who becomes attracted to places other than Mathura will certainly be captivated by the illusory energy. In the Brahmanda Purana, it is said that all the result of traveling on all the pilgrimages within the three worlds can be achieved simply by touching the holy land of Mathura. In many Sastra scriptures, it is said that simply by hearing, remembering, glorifying, desiring, seeing or touching the land of Mathura, one can achieve all desires. Yes, so that is the power of Mathura Vasa, residing in Mathura. So now, what about any other holy places? Like in Jagannath Puri, in Haridwar, in Mayapur, let's say like this. Because all these holy places are very dear to Krishna. And especially in Mayapur, Mayapur is not different from Vrindavan. Yes, therefore Mayapur is known as Gupta Vrindavan, the hidden Vrindavan. So the idea is that when we develop attachment to live where Krishna was performing his pastimes, so any other holy places are actually very dear to Krishna. And if we develop taste or desire to reside in some holy places, then that's actually beneficial for our life. Yes, because in the holy place, not only we get the influence of such a holy place by touching the land of the holy place, but the main thing is that we can remember the Lord's pastime. It is natural when we go to the place where the Lord had his pastimes. So we will remember naturally that pastime. So, for example, here I live in Mayapur. Whenever I just, crossing the road in the front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace, it's automatically that pastime when Nimai appear just come to the mind. Yeah, so that is the power of the Holy Dham. And what to speak in Vrindavan, like there are so many spots where Krishna was performing his pastimes. So just seeing that, or just remembering that how much benefit we'll get. Yes. And yeah, naturally, as devotees, we worship Krishna in our home. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned that our home should be temples of the Lord. Yes. So Mathura Vasa, yes, very important, developing taste. One time Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that actually the devotees all over the world are actually advised and encouraged to come to Vrindavan and Mayapur once in a year. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned that once in a year. Yes. So the idea is that because the devotees those days, so much preaching is going on, and sometimes after doing a great preaching, our battery becomes exhausted. Yes, so we need to recharge. We need to recharge our spiritual battery by visiting holy places. Some devotees, I know that every year they come just for the Kartik to Mayapur, or they just come for the Gaura Purnima for the full 1 month. They just do their sadhana nicely, chanting, just go take bath to Ganga, take prasadam. They don't think of anything else. Because for the entire 11 months, they have done working, especially as grihastas, working, simultaneously preaching in their areas. And just 1 month of the year, they just come here and spend every day just chanting the japa, go to the temple, take bath to Ganga and take prasadam. Hearing Krishna Katha. Yes. So, yeah, why not? It's always good to visit a holy place. Yes. And actually, there is a beautiful slokas in the Bhagavatam mentioning that the holy place is not limited just to piece of land. Yeah, even the body of a devotee is as good as a holy place. Yeah, Bhavad Vida Bhagavatam Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Svantasena Gadabrita. Yes. So by seeing devotees, touching devotees, because the body of devotees constantly engage in the service of the Lord, and that body is like Tirtha, Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani, and wherever he goes, that place becomes holy place. Yeah. But sometimes because we have this conditioning, we cannot appreciate the body of a devotee to be a holy place, isn't it? Unless we go physically to Vrindavan, physically to Jagannath Puri, to Mayapur, then we can really feel, oh yes, I'm in the holy dham. But the body of a devotee itself is as good as a holy place. Yeah, because we have this conditioning, and that is natural for the conditioned souls. Yeah, but for those who are pure in their heart, they will always appreciate the body of a devotee. They will be always happy to see the devotees. Yes. Okay. And then next, rendering service to the devotees. Yeah, Vaishnava Seva. In the Padma Purana, there is a nice statement praising the service of the Vaishnavas or devotees. In that scripture, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, my dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship, and out of all such methods, the worship of the Supreme Person is considered to be the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of the Lord's devotees. In the Adi Purana, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself, addressed to Arjun, my dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. No one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activities, the first duty is to accept a devotee as spiritual master and then render service unto him. Yes. So that verse from the Padma Purana, when Lord Shiva was asked by Parvati, who is the topmost person to be worshipped? Yeah. So Lord Shiva said, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnur Aradhanam Param. So Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Lord Vishnu is the topmost object of worship. But Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyana Samachara. So Tadiya means the one who is connected with the Lord, meaning the pure devotee of the Lord. Tadiyana Sama Archana. If one worship a pure devotee of the Lord, actually Krishna much more pleased. It is also stated here in the Adi Purana, Lord Krishna said, a person who claims to be my devotee is not really my devotee. But a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee, then he is my devotee. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us, Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudasa. Yes, I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis. Yeah. Therefore, we start our days by performing the Mangala Arati. Although we are doing the Arati to the deity of Krishna, but what we are singing, the Guru Astaka, we are praying to the spiritual master. Yeah, because the spiritual master is the Saksad Hari Dvena. Yes, Saksad Hari means direct servant of the Lord. Saksad means direct. Yes, so the Guru is the direct servant of the Lord. Therefore, in English, there is saying, you love me, love my dog. Yeah. So, for example, if a boy fall in love to a girl and the girl has a dog by chance, if the boy comes with the food for the dog, you see how much pleased the girl would be. So in our case, also like that, we cannot surpass the Vaishnava, we cannot surpass the devotees, because devotional service is not simply between me and Krishna. But there is me, pure devotees, and Krishna. Yeah. Next is serving the Lord according to one's position. In the Padma Purana, there is statement that one should perform the ceremonies for the Lord according to one's financial position. Everyone should observe the different ceremonies and celebration of the Lord by all means. Yeah. So I intentionally put these pictures here. Yes, like Advaita Acharya, for example, during the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri, yes, his spiritual master. So he invited everyone, yeah, everyone in Navadvip and feed all of them Mahaprasada. Yes. So he is not hesitate to serve the Vaisnavas. Yeah, according to one's capacity, of course. If you have nothing, what you can offer to the Lord? Patram Puspam Palam Toyan. In that Bhagavad Gita 9.26, Srila Prabhupada clearly mentioned that even the poorest among the poor men can still perform devotional service to the Lord. What is the method? Patram Puspam Palam Toyam. Just offer leaves, flowers, fruits, water. Yes. But if you are capable to offer something more, according to your financial situation, then you must offer. For example, if you have crores of rupees, then you come to the temple and give 100 rupees donation. Is that worth it? I don't think so. But if you have 1,000 rupees, you are coming to the temple, give donation for 50 rupees. Is that worth it? Worth it? Yes, it is. So depending on one's financial situation, yes, one can be as generous as possible. Yeah. What if you don't have anything at all? You can do Manasa Seva. Yeah, you can do Manasa Seva. Manasa Seva is as good as serving the Lord directly. Yeah. Okay. So according to one's capacity, if Krishna gives you more, then you can offer to Krishna more. Yeah. Performing devotional service in Kartik, it is very relevant for all of us today. Yes. One of the most important of this ceremonial function is called Urja Vrata. Urja Vrata is observed in the month of Kartik, October, November. Especially in Vrindavan, there is a specific program for temple worship of the Lord in his Damodar form. In the Padma Purana, it is said the Lord may offer liberation or material happiness to a devotee, but after some devotional service has been executed, particularly in Mathura during the month of Kartik, the devotees want only to attend pure devotional service unto the Lord. The purpose is that the Lord does not award devotional service to ordinary persons who are not serious about it, but even such unserious persons who execute devotional service according to the regulated principles during the month of Kartik and within jurisdiction of Mathura in India are very easily awarded the Lord's personal service. You see, this month, Damodar month, is the dearmost amongst all the other months of Lord Krishna. Yes, especially in Vrindavan. You know, devotees generally in Kartik, they go to Vrindavan. Yes. So regarding Urja Vrata, what is Urja Vrata? Anybody have heard what is Urja Vrata by chance? What is this Urja Vrata that Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here? Hmm. Nobody?
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dhanapranam. Performing
Yes.
austerities in this month, including like waking up at early hours and chanting Mahamantra and following the regulative principle as usual, and devotee association, and doing the deep down, and connecting as many souls as possible to the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. That is Urja Vrata. Some devotees also will walk barefoot for 1 month. They take off their shoes. Yeah. Some devotees, well, I mean, like those who are too fanatic, they don't save also. Yeah, meaning that the idea is that to reduce the bodily demand, yeah, and engage more in devotional service. So how many, generally we don't offer lamb every day to the Lord, right? In the temple. I mean, at home you must because you are doing arati, but generally devotees don't do this. Yeah. But only in this month, like so special that devotees would come to the temple and offering the lamp, the deepa to the Lord. Yes. But there is an incident. Srila Prabhupada was asked, what is this Urjavrata? Yeah. So devotee, Srila Prabhupada, today is the beginning of Urjavrata, the Kartik Vrata. Can you describe what is Urjavrata, how it should be observed? Now we will hear what Srila Prabhupada mentioned. Prabhupada said, Urjavrata, you chant Hare Krishna 24 hours, 1 month, that's all. Yeah, who can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 24 hours? And Guru Srila Prabhupada's disciples said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Prabhupada said, yes, don't sleep, don't eat. This is Urja Vrata. Can you execute? The devotee said, I don't know. Yeah. So the idea is that we reduce as much as possible the bodily demand. Yeah. Ahar Nidra Bhaya Maitunam Cha, especially these 4 things should be as much as possible. We should decrease it. Yes. Less eating, less sleeping. Yeah. More chanting, more reading, more hearing, more associating. Yeah. More kirtan. Therefore, in Kartik, devotees generally performing some parikrama. Yes, in Vrindavan, Kartik parikrama. Even here in Mayapur also, devotees organizing parikrama. Yes, just to go to some specific spot and just discuss the pastimes of the Lord in that very spot. Yeah, having kirtan, having kathas, just like that, to reduce the bodily necessity. That is Urja Vrata. Yeah, observing festivals, celebrating the Lord's activities. In the Bhavishya Purana, there is a statement about observing different ceremonies, celebrating the Lord's appearance or birthday, and other transcendental activities. It is said, my dear Janardana, Krishna, please let us know the date when your mother Devaki Devi gave birth to you. If you kindly inform us about this, then we shall observe a great celebration on this day. O Killer of Kesi, we are souls 100% surrendered unto your lotus feet, and we wish only to please you with our service. Serving the deity with great devotion. Yeah. It is said in the Adi Purana, a person who is constantly engaged in chanting the holy name and who feels transcendental pleasure being engaged in devotional service is certainly awarded the facilities of devotional service and is never given just mukti or liberation. Mukti means liberation from material contamination. When liberated, one does not have to take birth again in the material world. The impersonalists desire to merge into the spiritual existence, to end their individual existence. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukti is only the beginning of one's becoming situated in its normal condition. The normal condition of every living entity is to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Yes, these 2 items also very important. Celebrating festival, especially the appearance of the Lord. Yes, like Janmashtami, Gaura Purnima, Nityananda Trayodasi, Varaha Trayodasi, Vamana Dwadasi. Yeah. So there are different incarnation of the Lord. Yes, Lord Ramachandra, Ram Navami. And we should celebrate all these pastimes of the Lord's appearance. Yes, the idea is that I heard once in a devotee is mentioning that when we celebrate the appearance of the Lord, that actually we should have the mood that we should pray that may the Lord appear in our heart and destroy all the anarthas. Yeah. Of course, sometimes out of joy, we just come to the temple, having some kirtan, nice prasadam, dancing ups and down. That is fine. But sometimes we should also think that may the Lord also appear within our heart and destroy the anartha. Yeah. So that's regarding the celebration. Yes. But actually, every day for us is a festival. Yeah. Especially those who live in the Vaishnava community where we have a temple, then every day is a festival. Yes. And then regarding what's mentioned there? Serving the deities. Yes, serving the deities of the Lord. It's not simply awarding mukti to the worshippers. Yes. Of course, the primary idea of serving the deities is to please the Lord. Yes, nothing else. And when the Lord is pleased, automatically liberation is being awarded. Just like in the Damodara Astaka, we pray that actually we don't want liberation. Yeah, Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu, Prasida Prabhu Dukajala Divagnam, Dipadrisi Vrishyati Dinam Bhatanu, Vihani Samam Adyam, Ediaxitrisha. Yeah. So we pray to the Lord, yeah, Lord Damodar, Lord Ananta, Lord Vishnu, that Kripadrisi Vrishyati Dinam Bhatanu. Yeah. Only that mercy that we want. What mercy? Simply engage in devotional service. Yeah. Recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is also very important. Yeah. Amongst devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam should be received in this succession without any breakage. When a ripened fruit comes from the upper part of the tree onto the ground by the process of being handed down from a higher branch to a lower branch by persons in the tree, the fruit does not break. Srimad Bhagavatam, when received in the Parampara system or the cyclic succession, will likewise remain unbroken. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that one learns Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of the self-realized person called Bhagavatam. Bhagavata means in relationship with the personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So the devotee is sometimes called Bhagavatam. And the book, which is in relationship with devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is also called Bhagavatam. Yeah. So studying Bhagavatam, reciting Bhagavatam amongst the devotees, this is very important. Yeah. Why specifically mentioned here amongst the devotees? Because the Bhagavatam is full of narration of Krishna's pastimes, and only devotees, specifically pure devotees, will understand. Will understand the pastimes of the Lord. Yeah, the non-devotees sometimes they cannot appreciate the content of the Srimad Bhagavatam because they don't have faith, because they don't have love for Krishna. But devotees, out of love for Krishna, they can understand. Yes, the pastime of the Lord. And when we hear the Bhagavatam from a pure devotee, especially, then we can truly relish, yeah, the ripened fruits. So Bhagavatam, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, two types of Bhagavatam. Yeah, devotee Bhagavatam and book Bhagavatam. Both are very important. But amongst the two, Srila Prabhupada explained that the person Bhagavata is more important than the book Bhagavatam. Yeah, both are important, but the person Bhagavata is more important than the book Bhagavatam. Because sometimes we are reading Bhagavatam and we cannot understand, yes, the meaning. But when we associate with the person Bhagavata, if we have doubt, we can ask directly to the devotees. Yeah, but both are very important. Associating with advanced devotee, yeah, sadhu sangha. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, there is a conversation between Prahlad Maharaj and his father, Hiranyakasipu, in which Hiranyakasipu addressed Prahlad in this way. My dear son, association is very important. It acts just like crystal stone, which will reflect anything which is put before it. Similarly, if we associate with a flower like devotees of the Lord, and if our hearts are crystal clear, then certainly the same action will be there. Another example given in this connection is that if a man is potent and if a woman is not diseased, then by their conjugation, there will be conception. In the same way, if the recipients of the spiritual knowledge and the deliverer of the spiritual knowledge are sincere and bona fide, there will be good result. Yes. So Sadhu Sangha, even Hiranyakasipu mentioned that to Prahlad. Yes, association. Well, Hiranyakasipu didn't mention about associating with the sadhus. Yes, he just mentioned that association is just like, you know, putting an object in the front of a crystal that uh, will reflect that object itself. So therefore, there is a saying also in English that tell me who's your friend, then I will tell who you are. Because depending on the person to whom we associate with, so that will build up our character. Yeah, that will build up our character, and that is for sure. Yeah, therefore, we are always encouraged to seek the association of good devotees. Even amongst the devotees, we should be very careful in associating ourselves. Yeah. You know what I mean. Yes. So, because there are different levels of devotees based on their realization, based on their sadhana, based on their uh, behavior. Yes. So we can choose those devotees who are sincere in their attempt in pleasing the Lord and his devotees. Then we will get the utmost benefit. Yeah. Some devotees like to pull another devotee's legs. Some devotees like to talk about bad thing of other devotees think about other devotees stuff. So with this kind of devotees, we better respect them from far because however they are devotees, they are chanting the holy name, but we don't associate with them. Yeah, we don't associate with them. We just respect them from far. Yes, Ramesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Mm.
Prabhu, regarding devotee association, the key learnings just like creepers, we are devotees. We need to support each other and grow spiritually, elevate. So in terms of what you have been telling that we need to be careful in terms of choosing devotee association also.
Mm.
So we should be careful in terms of our key learnings what we have to learn. Otherwise, so even devotees also we often should not find any mistakes. Sometimes yeah, they will affect us our growth, spiritual growth too. So in terms of what are the key learnings we need to be focused on?
Okay, very good question.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. If we, that's interesting actually. If we see like, okay, oh, this devotee is not so good, I don't want to associate with him. Then we are also fall in the category of fault finder, right? But then what should be our key focus while associating with the devotees? You can observe actually, you can observe some devotees, like you can easily you can see like how do they talk, how do they behave, and then how serious they are performing devotional service. Yes, of course, all this cannot be judged through the appearance, first of all. Yes, we cannot judge the devotees by their appearance, but we can see actually when devotee is really serious in their practice, we can see the difference. Yeah. So to those devotees who are seriously practicing devotional service, to those devotees, we must seek their association. Yeah. It is not that who are, always wearing dhoti and putting on tilak and big kantimalas, they are considered to be advanced. Well, there is no guarantee, right? But of course, we must associate ourselves with all the devotees, but we can notice actually, while associating devotees, we can assess them. We have no right to point fingers on others, right? But we should use our intelligence also to discriminate. Otherwise, we may fall victim also. That when you associate with the devotees, some devotees love to talk prajalpa, right? Then with such kind of devotees, then we can, reduce our association, respect them from far. That's what I mean. But we don't judge them. Yeah, we don't say bad things about them. You know, you can clearly, easily assess like that. Some devotees love to talk about business. Then, if you are a business person, you can go ahead, but yeah, should be very careful. Some devotees like to talk about bad things about others. Then with that kind of devotees, you better avoid at all. It's not at all beneficial. Yeah. Those devotees who love to do kirtan, who love to do katha, discussing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the Lord's pastime, then it is encouraged to associate with them. Yeah. So associate with the devotees, and we use our intelligence to discriminate, not to judge. That's it. Discriminating in the sense of for our own benefit also. Yeah. Otherwise, we also may involve in prajalpa. Prajalpa is actually the beginning of how Maya can attack us. Prajalpa is not simply we talk nonsense or we talk something other than Krishna Katha. That is most prominent form of Prajalpa. But Prajalpa can be also means anything which is not connected to Krishna. Yeah, which is not at all connected to Krishna. Yes, reading some mundane literature is Prajalpa. Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very well, Hare Krishna.
I mean, you should associate with all the devotees, but while associating with all the devotees, you should use your intelligence also. Otherwise, we may fall victim. Yeah. It's not that you should be judgmental, not like that. Just, for your own safety.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And if we are not in the position of being an authority, then better not to say anything bad about those devotees.
Yes.
Let the authority take action. Yeah.
That's true. Thank you, Prabhu. Good.
Chanting the holy name. Chanting the holy name of the Lord. Same thing is confirmed in the Adi Purana by Krishna. While addressing Arjuna, he says, anyone who is engaged in chanting my transcendental name must be considered to be always associating with me. And I may tell you frankly that for such a devotee, I become easily a purchase. Living in Mathura, the same point like before in the Padma Purana, there is statement about the importance of living at holy places like Mathura or Dwaraka. Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here holy places like Mathura or Dwaraka. That means any other holy place is also as good as Mathura. It is stated here To travel to different places of pilgrimage means to attain emancipation from material bondage. This emancipation, however, is not the highest perfectional stage. After attaining this liberated stage, one has to become engaged in devotional service to the Lord. After attainment of the Brahma Bhuta liberation, the Brahma Bhuta stage, one can further advance to engagement in devotional service. So this attainment of transcendental loving devotional service to the Lord is the goal of life, and it can be achieved very easily for one who lives in Mathura Mandala, even for a few seconds. Yeah. First of all, about the chanting of the holy name, because the holy name is not different from Krishna. Yeah. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Sudha Nitya Purna Sudhyo Nitya Mukto Binatvan Nama Naminu. So Krishna's name is Abhinatvan Nama Naminu. Krishna's name is non different from Krishna. So when we chant Krishna's name, then it is described that Krishna appears in our tongue. Yes. So now I have a question. When a pure devotee chants Krishna's name, definitely Krishna appears in their tongue. What about the non-pure devotees who chant Krishna's name? Will Krishna also appear in their tongue and dance in their tongue? Or what about the non-devotees at all who by chance chanting the holy name of the Lord? Will Krishna also appear? Because that name is not different from himself. Will Krishna appear in their tongue? What do you think? Anybody would like to comment on that?
They will get some good Sukruti, Prabhuji.
They will get some good security, that's for sure. But my question is that Krishna and his name is not different. If a pure devotee chants, then Krishna appears in their tongue. What about a non-devotee? Yes, here Anuradha Mataji said, yes, Krishna will appear also in the non-devotee's tongue and dance in their tongue. Yes. So yes, Krishna will appear and dance. And what will happen? They will get the security. Yeah, for sure. So there's one devotee, very nice devotee. Yeah. He was telling how he became a devotee. Yeah. So one day actually he was, meeting with the devotees, but he didn't want to become devotee. And then one day he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend had a dog. Yeah. His girlfriend had a dog, and the dog's name is Krishna. So one day he took this dog, Krishna, for a walk, yes, in a park. And then somehow or other, the dog was missing. The dog was missing. And then he was searching for the dog and then keep calling, Krishna, 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 where are you? Oh, Krishna, have you seen Krishna? He keep asking different people, have you seen Krishna? And people ask, who's Krishna? Oh, there's a little dog by name Krishna. And then he was searching like all over and keep calling Krishna, 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 Krishna. And finally, he became devotee. That's how he became devotee. Do you know who is this devotee? This devotee is His Holiness Kadavakananda Swami. He was narrating like that, So Krishna's name is so potent. Yeah. Even if you don't understand the meaning of the holy name, if you simply chant, yeah, it will purify you. As Prabhuji has mentioned that, yes, they will get the Agyata Sukriti. But now the difference is that when a pure devotee chants Krishna's name, they really can feel the presence of Krishna on their tongue. But the non-devotees or the devotees, but not yet on the pure level. When they chant the holy name, Krishna appear, but they cannot really feel Krishna's presence because they're still being covered by different anarthas. Yeah, but keep chanting. Yes. Agyana tatava gyana tutama slokanamaya sankirita magam pumso dahidedo yatana. Agyana tatava gyana. Although you understand or you don't understand what is the benefit of chanting of holy names, it will work. At least will purify our heart. Yes, just like the medicine. We know or we don't know what is this medicine made of. Yes, what is the potency of a medicine? If a doctor asks you to take the medicine while you are sick, you just take the medicine without further questions. You will get cured. Yeah. Okay. So that's the end of chapter 12. Now, all the 64 angas of bhakti has been mentioned and described one by one here by Srila Rupa Goswami by giving different evidences from different scriptures. So now amongst the 64 angas of bhakti, there are 5 potent forms of devotional service. Yeah, described here in chapter 13. Rupa Goswami has stated that 5 kinds of devotional activities, namely residing in Mathura, worshipping the deity of the Lord, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, serving the devotee, and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra are so potent that a small attachment for any one of these 5 items can arouse devotional ecstasy even in a neophyte. Yes. So this is the Pancha Anga Bhakti, the most powerful form of devotional service. Yeah. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Sankirtan, Bhagavat Sravana, Mathura Vasa, Sri Murtira, Sradhaya Seva. Yeah, worshipping the deity with faith, Sradha. So these 5, if we just develop taste, even only for one, and what to speak of all, yeah, so we will achieve the perfection. Regarding worship of the form of the Lord or deity, Rupa Goswami has written the following verse. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within this material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna, who is standing on the bank of the Kesi Ghat, bathing place in Vrindavan. He is known as Govinda, and his eyes are very enchanting. He is playing upon his flute, and on his head there is a peacock feather, and his whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. The purport of this verse is that if someone becomes attached to the Sri Murti or deity of Krishna by worshipping at home, then he will forget his relationships of so-called friendship, love, and society. Thus, it is the duty of every householder to install deities of the Lord at home and to begin the process of worshipping along with all of his family members. This will save everyone from such unwanted activities as going to clubs, cinemas, and dancing parties, and smoking, drinking, etc. All such nonsense will be forgotten if one stress the worship of the deities at home. This is very much applicable for the grihastas. Yeah. We should install the deities at home. If you are not initiated, then you can worship the picture of the Lord. Yes, you make mundane friends here in the material world, please don't look into the deity form of Lord Krishna. Yes, it is dangerous. The moment you become attached to Krishna, you will lose all material interests. Sometimes devotees praying, oh, when will I become pure devotee? Are we ready to become a pure devotee? That's the question. If we still have some material aspiration, then Krishna knows it better than us. Therefore, we are still not pure devotee. Yes. But of course, it should be our aspiration that one day, yes, hopefully I will not have any more material attachment, which is actually the cause of all the anxieties in the material world. Yeah. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that unless one has the ability to throw out just like garbage, the fruitive result of ritualistic ceremony, economic development, and becoming one with the Supreme or salvation, one cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam deals exclusively with devotional service. Only one who studies Srimad Bhagavatam in the spirit of renunciation can understand the pastimes of the Lord, which are described in the 10th canto. In other words, one should not try to understand the topics of the 10 cantos, such as the Rasa Lila, love dance, unless he has spontaneous attraction for Srimad Bhagavatam. One must be situated in pure devotional service before he can relish Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. Yeah. So which verse that's Srila Prabhupada referring here? The second verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. 1:1-2. Yeah, dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmat saranam satam. Nirmat saranam satam, meaning the pure devotees who has no more material aspiration, because they can understand Bhagavatam clearly. Dharma projita kaitavatra. So one should reject, yes, the Bhagavatam rejects all the kaitava dharma, all the dharma which is materially contaminating. Yes. So the Bhagavad Gita ends by Sarva Dharman Parityaja, rejecting all the materialistic dharma. And the Bhagavatam start with rejecting all the materialistic dharma. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada explained that the Bhagavatam study is actually just like a postgraduate. Yeah, after studying the Bhagavad Gita, study the Bhagavad. And studying the Bhagavatam should be systematic. Yes, don't jump directly to the Rasa Lila. Yes, Srila Rupa Goswami has similarly described the transcendental nature of relishing topic, which concerned Krishna. A devotee once said, "It is very astonishing that since I have seen this personality of Godhead who is washed by the tears of my eyes, there is shivering of my body, and he has made me failure in executing my material duties. Since seeing him, I cannot remain silently at home. I wish to go out to him always." Purport of this statement is that as soon as one is fortunate enough to contact a pure devotee, one must be anxious immediately to hear about Krishna, to learn about Krishna, or in other words, to become fully Krishna conscious. Yes, Sadhu Sangha is very contagious. Sadhu Sangha is very contagious. They carry the disease, contagious disease. What is that disease? Pure love of Godhead. So be careful. Yes, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sadasi Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Yes, a moment association with pure devotees. It gives us all perfection. Yeah, Tulaya Malavenapi Nasvargana Punar Bhava Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kim Tasha. So a moment association of the pure devotees, Bhagavat Sangi Sangha, So the result is surpassing the attainment of Swarga, yes. What to speak of Swarga, even liberation. Yes. Na Swarga, na Punar Bhava. Na Swarga, na Punar Bhava. The attainment of heaven, the attainment of liberation cannot be compared to the attainment of Sadhu Sangha. Yeah. So that's the power of Sadhu Sangha. Give us perfection. Okay. Mathura Vasa, again, Srila Rupa Goswami has described Mathura Mandala. I remember the Lord standing by the banks of Yamuna River, so beautiful amid the Kadamba trees, where many birds are chirping in the gardens. And this impression are always giving me transcendental realization of beauty and bliss. This feeling about Mathura Mandala and Vrindavan described by Rupa Goswami can actually be felt even by non-devotees. The place in the 168 square mile district of Mathura are so beautifully situated on the banks of the river Yamuna that anyone who goes there will never want to return to this material world. This statement by Rupa Goswami are factually realized descriptions of Mathura and Vrindavan. All these qualities prove that Mathura and Vrindavan are situated transcendentally. Otherwise, there would be no possibility of invoking our transcendental sentiments in these places. Such transcendental feelings are aroused immediately and without fail after one arrives in Mathura or Vrindavan. Yeah. So of course, the physical place of Mathura and Vrindavan is so potent, can award one's love of Godhead. Yes. So it is said that in Jagannath Puri, people attain the perfection by eating the Jagannath Mahaprasad. In Mayapur, people attain the perfection by performing the Harinam Sankirtan. And in Vrindavan, people attain the perfection simply by rolling on the dust of Vrindavan. This is exemplified by Akrura. Yes, exemplified by Akrura. When Akrura was going to Vrindavan to pick up Krishna and Balaram to go to Mathura. So on the way, he was in total meditation, that thinking that, oh, how should I greet Krishna and Balaram? What should I say? Oh, and he was like completely nervous. Yeah. As soon as he reached the village, Vrindavan, so he saw the footprint of Lord Krishna. Immediately he rolled on the dust of Vrindavan, offering obeisances. Now this is the correct mood. Yes. In 2014, first time when I visited Vrindavan. So on the way, I was remembering these pastimes of Akrura, visiting Vrindavan. So I was thinking that I would certainly will roll on the dust of Vrindavan as soon as I reach Vrindavan. Now that time was the peak of summer. It's so hot, and it's happened to be the Pandava Nirjala Ekadasi. And then as soon as I reached Vrindavan, I was failed to roll on the ground of the dust of Vrindavan. Yeah, because it was so hot. And so that's happened to a conditioned soul like me. Yeah. So by the way, having said that, as it is described here, that anyone who visit Vrindavan, they immediately lost their material aspiration. But sometimes we may experience ourselves or we may see others after visiting Vrindavan. Still, we don't develop love of Godhead. What's wrong here? Because of the mentality of visiting it. Yes. So once his Grace Janani was probably here, he was telling me that people who come to Mayapur or Vrindavan or to any other holy places, if they come with the right mood of performing devotional service, Lord Krishna revealed the Dhamma. But if they come here to do any other things other than performing devotional service, like doing business, this and that, the holy dham is actually covered by the layer of Krishna's energy. Although they are physically in the dham, they cannot see the real dham. So that's what he said. Mathura Vasa. In this statement about devotional service, sometimes it may appear that the result had been overestimated. But actually, there is no overestimation. Some devotees, as revealed scriptures, give evidence, have had immediate result by such association, although this is not possible for all. Yes, for example, the Kumaras immediately become devotees simply by smelling the incense in the temple. Bilwa Mangal Thakur simply heard about Krishna and then immediately gave up his beautiful girlfriend and started out for Mathura and Vrindavan, where he became a perfect Vaishnava. So these statements are not overestimations, nor are they stories. They are actual facts, but are true for certain devotees and do not necessarily apply to all. These descriptions, even if considered of overestimation, must be taken as they are in order to divert our attention from the fleeting material beauty to the external beauty of Krishna consciousness. And for a person who is already in contact with Krishna consciousness, the described results are not unusual. Right? So we have discussed the 5 angas in details. And of course, this is, as Prabhupada mentioned here, it is not overestimation. But sometimes not all devotees may experience the same result as mentioned here. Like it is described that we have read that even the non-devotees, the neophyte, the non-devotees, as soon as they come to Mathura, they don't want to return to their place. But not applied to all. Yes, those who are fortunate enough, they can get the result like that. The example is Kumara. Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Pada Ravinda Kinjal Kamishra Tulasi Makaranda Vaipu. So Prabhupada mentioned here smelling the incense. But that verse in the Bhagavatam mentioning that they simply smell the tulasi leaf offered at the lotus feet of the Lord. And they became great devotees. Before they were the Brahmavadis, the impersonalists. Bilwa Mangal Thakur also one great example. Bilwa Mangal Thakur is the son of a Brahmana, but he was considered to be a Dvija Bandhu because he didn't possess the quality of a Brahmana. And his father passed away. So even before the cremation of his father complete, so out of his passion, out of his lusty desire, he could not wait to meet a prostitute by name Chintamani. Yes, it was heavy rain, storm, the river was flooded, but somehow or other he could manage to cross the river. Actually, it is described that he was crossing the river using a dead body floating on the river. He thought that it was just a log of wood. So he used that to cross the river. He was grabbing a snake, mistaken to be a rope. So finally he managed to meet his girlfriend, and his girlfriend Chintamani said that if you use the same effort, the same endeavor, the same enthusiasm to worship Lord Krishna, then your life is perfected. And then simply by hearing that, he was ready to give up everything and then headed toward Vrindavan. So this is not an overestimation. It is a true true result, but may not be experienced by all of us immediately. Some of us may catch up devotional service and its perfection very quickly. Some may not, depending on how much sukriti we may get also from the previous lives. Yes, it's also matters. Sometimes we see those who just joined 1 or 2 years, they looks like very serious and advanced because we don't know who are they, what they did in their previous life. Yes. So the 64 angas of bhakti is already described in details along with some evidences from different scriptures. So out of the 64 angas of bhakti, the first 10 considered to be very important. Out of the first 10 of the 64 angas, the first 3 considered to be very, very important. And out of all the 64 angas, there are 5 anga of bhakti, namely Sadhu Sangha, Nama Sankirtan, Bhagavat Shravana, Sri Murtira, Sradaya Seva, and Mathura Vasa, considered to be very, very potent. Yes. Any questions or comments? If not, we will continue to chapter 14. Now, Srila Rupa Goswami, after describing the 64 angas of bhakti, now he will describe what is the qualification. Yeah. What are the qualification to enter the realm of bhakti? Yes, it's also a matter. It is not that simply we know what is bhakti, but we should know also what we should have. How much is the price of bhakti? Yes. Some scholars recommend that knowledge and renunciation are important factors for elevating oneself to devotional service. But actually, that is not a fact. Actually, the cultivation of knowledge or renunciation, which are favorable for achieving a footing in Krishna consciousness, may be accepted in the beginning, but ultimately they may also come to be rejected. For devotional service is dependent on nothing other than sentiment or desire for such service. It requires nothing more than sincerity. Actually, Krishna consciousness devotional service itself is the only way of advancing in devotional life. Devotional service is absolute. It is both the cause and the effect. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause and the effect of all that we. And to approach Him, the absolute process of devotional service, which is also absolute, has to be adopted. Okay. Of course, the Bhagavatam described Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janaya Tyasu Vairagyam Gyanam Chayadaha to come. So Jnana and Vairagya are actually two automatic results will be obtained by those who are performing devotional service to Vasudeva. So without separate endeavor, a person who engage in devotional service will get Jnana and Vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. But then, as it is described here by Srila Prabhupada, that when one becomes more advanced, ultimately even Jnana also will be rejected. Yeah, the only thing that a pure devotee needs is just his love and sentiment. There is a beautiful pastime in Jagannath Puri. So in Jagannath Puri, there is one old lady. Yeah, one old lady belonged to the lower caste. Belonged to the lower caste. So one day she cooked khichdi. Yes, she cooked khichdi early in the morning. Yes, she cooked khichdi for Lord Jagannath early in the morning. So she was, while cooking, she was absorbed in glorifying Lord Jagannath. Yeah, singing the glories of Lord Jagannath. So while cooking, she was brushing her teeth using a neem stick. Yeah, we still find this in some villagers. While cooking, she was brushing her teeth, using a neem stick. And then using the same neem stick, she was mixing the ingredients while cooking the khichdi. This is something very astonishing to hear. Cannot imagine also. And then she was bringing this pot of khichdi to the temple. Yeah, and then the temple guardians stopped her. Yes, because first of all, she looked like she still didn't take bath. Okay, she still didn't take bath, and they know that this lady was actually belong to the lower class in the society. So the guardian didn't allow her to enter to bring her cooked khichdi. And then the guardian said, you know, at least you should take bath before you cook for Lord Jagannath. And then this lady said, well, Lord Jagannath is just like my child. You know, if a mother having a small baby, a small child, and then in the middle of night, the baby cry out of hunger. So what the mother should do? Should she go to the bathroom and take bath first and then breastfeed the baby? And then she left. Yeah, she left. And what happened? At night, Lord Jagannath appeared in the dream of these guardians and then chastised him so heavily. Yeah, chastised him so heavily and asked him to go to the house of this lady, beg for forgiveness, offer obeisances to her, and then bring her to the temple. Yes. And then this temple guard came, to the house of this lady asking for forgiveness and saying that Lord Jagannath want you to cook the khichdi for him. And then she said, no, I don't want. And then this temple guard said that, okay, what should I do in order to make you to come to the temple and cook for Lord Jagannath? And then this lady said that I want you to pick me up using a palanquin accompanied by huge procession. And then finally they did that. Yeah. They pick up the lady with a palanquin with a huge procession. And then since then, actually, the cook in Jagannath Mandir was coming from the family of the low class. Yes, and they are considered to be pure devotees. So, of course, in the beginning stage, we have to follow all the rules and regulation based on jnana, everything based on knowledge, jnana. But as it is mentioned here by Srila Prabhupada, when one becomes really advanced, jnana doesn't matter. Because Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardana. He sees the intention. He sees the ecstasy. He sees your sentiment. He sees your love. That is matter than anything else. Doesn't mean that I'm saying that we can act as what we want, not following rules and regulation. Especially being the sadhakas, we must follow the Vaidhi Bhakti procedure. We must follow. Yeah. Even Srila Rupa Goswami explained that what is that verse mentioning that Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidimbina Akantike Harir Bhakti Utpattayaiva Kalpati. If we perform devotional service without following the scriptures, such as the Shruti Smriti Purana and Pancharatrika procedure, then we simply create habit. We may have some sentiment, some love for Krishna, but in the front of other devotees, we better follow rules and regulation. Otherwise, it will create habit. Other devotees may follow us and neglecting rules and regulation prematurely. Okay, I'm saying prematurely. So in the mature level, you may neglect knowledge, jnana, rules and regulation because love is matter. But we should not act prematurely like this. Yes, Abhiram Prabhu. After a long time, finally, we get the darshan of Abhiram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Pranam.
Prabhuji, why Jagannath plays such pastimes Instead of having so many instructions of how deity worship and why such pastimes happen to.
Yes, thank you. Very good questions. Why? In order to show the superiority of love, to show the superiority of love and devotion rather than all the rules and regulations. Yeah, that's the only intention. But for the beginner, we must follow the rules and regulation. But when it comes to relationship, love is matter. Yeah, so to show the superiority of love over any other things.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, devotion. Actually, a person who is developing Krishna consciousness, and still has some attachment to material enjoyment will soon be freed from such a tendency by regularly discharging devotional service under the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master. Srila Rupa Goswami then recommends that one should not be attached to material sense enjoyment, but should accept everything enjoyable which is in relationship to Krishna. For example, eating is necessary, and one wants some palatable dishes to satisfy his sense of taste. So in that case, for the satisfaction of Krishna, rather than for the satisfaction of the tongue, some palatable dishes may be prepared and offered to Krishna. Then it is renunciation. Let the palatable dishes be prepared, but unless they are offered to Krishna, one should not accept them for eating. This vow of rejecting anything which is not offered to Krishna is actually renunciation. And by such renunciation, one is able to satisfy the demand of the senses. Yes, 9.27 Bhagavad Gita, that is called Karma Yoga. Yat karasi, yat asnasi, yat jivosi, dadasya. Yes. So whatever you eat, whatever you do, offer it to Krishna first. I want to eat something, but I will not eat it unless it is offered to Krishna. So that is called renunciation. And that is a great thing. Yes, if we can take a vow, not eating anything other than the food stuff offered to Krishna, then our life is successful. Yes, so renunciation. First, try to renounce the thing which is not connected to Krishna. Of course, we still have some material desire. Nobody wants to, suffer in the material world. Everybody wants to enjoy, right? But we can enjoy along with Krishna. Why not? Yes. So everybody like to sing and dance. So rather than going to the club, to the nightclub, to the cinema, then we can come to temple with other devotees. We can sing and dance. Yes, the holy name in kirtan. Yeah, everybody likes topic of politics. Then study the Mahabharata. How do you run as diplomacy? That is politics. If you want to see some movie, romantic movie, then here also available in the Bhagavata, Krishna's pastimes. But that should not be taken cheaply. Yeah, should not be taken cheaply. Yeah, so renunciation means that renouncing anything which is not connected to Krishna. Yeah, we may still have some desire to enjoy something, but that enjoyment should be in connection to Krishna. Prabhupada gave the example here like prasadam. Yeah, prasadam. Okay. Yes, this is one of the verse that you have to memorize. Anasaktasya visayan yatarham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam. So nirbandha Krishna sambandha. Here, Krishna sambandha means in connection with Krishna, and that is called yukta vairagya. Yeah. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accept anything in relation to Krishna, One is rightly situated above possessiveness. For instance, we are using many machines for the advancement of our present Krishna consciousness movement. Machines like typewriters, dictating machines, tape recorders, microphones, and airplanes. Sometimes people ask us, why are you utilizing material products if you condemn the advancement of material civilization? But actually, we do not condemn. We simply ask people to do whatever they are doing in Krishna consciousness. This is the same principle on which in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna advised Arjuna to utilize his fighting abilities in devotional service. Similarly, we are utilizing these machines for Krishna service. With such sentiment for Krishna or Krishna consciousness, we can accept everything. If the typewriter can be utilized for advancing our Krishna consciousness movement, we must accept. Yes, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. That is the crucial point here. Connect everything to Krishna, and that is called Yukta Vairagya. In contrary, Falgu Vairagya, opposed to Yukta Vairagya, meaning we reject the whole world, but we don't develop our attachment to Krishna. The example is like the Mayavadis. Yes, the Mayavadis, they reject the whole world, but they don't connect themselves to Krishna. There is no attachment to Krishna. Then what is the point of being renounced? But we see there are so many examples, especially in the Bhagavatam, great kings, but at the same time, they are pure devotees, although their lives are totally in opulence, yeah, because they utilize everything in Krishna's service. In particular, mention the example of Ambarish Maharaj in the 9th canto. He is one of the best examples of how a great devotee king utilizing everything in Krishna's service. Yeah. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vandaya Vacham Suvaikunta Gunanuvarani. Everything. Just connect everything to Krishna. Yeah. If you have car, then utilize that car for the service of the Lord. Yes. I remember in Bangkok in 2013. Yeah, I came for Ratha Yatra festival. So we don't have chariot. What to do now? So the devotee offered his car to be used for the chariot. So somehow we decorate the car. Yes, we put the asana for the Lord. Yes, and then put umbrella on the top. And then we just pull the car. So like that, we utilize everything in the service of the Lord. Yeah. And then finally in 2015, the devotees in Bangkok in Thailand could manage to make one chariot for Lord Jagannath. Yeah. Handmade by one devotee. So like that, if we see our sincerity, how we can utilize our wealth, especially in the service of the Lord, Krishna will give us more because Krishna knows that we know how to use it. But if we have wealth, we don't use it for Krishna, then Krishna will take it. Harishe taddanam sanaihi. Krishna said, when I give my special mercy to my devotee, first thing I take is his dana. Hari means to take, the one who takes. Harishe taddanam sanaihi tatoa danam tejantyasu swajano dukkadukita. When he becomes poor, nobody wants to be his friend. All his relatives will leave him. And dukkadukitam, he will meet all types of miseries. And then the only friend that he has is Krishna. So that is the special mercy of the Lord. Yeah. So everything should be connected to Krishna, especially when we get some kind of difficulties in our life. Then we should understand, okay, it's Krishna, Krishna's hand. Maybe Krishna is planning something for me. Yes, that's how a pure devotee sees miseries in life. Everything is Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami affirms herein that there are 9 different kinds of devotional service. which are listed as hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshipping the deity in the temple, praying, carrying out orders, serving Krishna as a friend, and sacrificing everything for him. Actually, this is the statement of Prahlad Maharaj in the 7th canto, when Hiranyakasipu was asking Prahlad Maharaj, so my dear son, what you have learned in the school from your teacher? Prahlad Maharaj just mentioned all these 9 processes of devotional service. Each and every one of these processes is so powerful that if anyone follows even one single one of them, he can achieve the desired perfection without fail. For example, if one is attached simply by hearing about the Lord, and another is attached to chanting the glories of the name, both will achieve their desired goal in devotional service. There are concrete examples of how a devotee discharge one of these services and achieve perfection. Yeah. So in all these 9 processes, exemplified by one particular devotee. Sravanam exemplified by Maharaj Pariksit. Yes, for 7 days, simply hearing. Kirtanam is Srila Sukadev Goswami. Yeah. And then Smaranam, yes, remembering, exemplified by Prahlad Maharaj. And Padasevanam, Hanumanji. No, Padasevanam is Lakshmi Devi. Yeah, massaging the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lakshmi Devi, Padasevana. And then Archanam is Prithu Maharaj. Vandanam, Akrura. Yeah. Sakyam, no, Dashyam, Hanuman. And then Sakyam is Arjun, and Atmani Vedanam is Bali Maharaj. Yes. So if out of the 9, if we can follow all the 9, is good. Even if we cannot follow all of them, 1, 2, 3, even 1 is still good. Yes. Okay. There are also examples of devotees who discharge all the different items together. Yeah, I was talking about Ambarish Maharaj earlier. Here, yes, Ambarish Maharaj. The idea is that we should follow in the footsteps of great devotees. If we are unable to execute all the different items of devotional service, we must try to execute at least one of them, as exemplified by previous acharyas. If we are engaged in the execution of all the items of devotional service, as was Maharaj Ambarish, then the perfection of devotional service is guaranteed from each one of these items. With the first complete engagement, one becomes automatically detached from material contamination, and liberation becomes made servant of the devotees. Yeah. Okay. So again, what is the qualification of discharging devotional service? The intention to perform devotional service itself. Yes. In the beginning, we require jnana, but when we become advanced, that jnana sometimes doesn't really matter. Yeah, because the real qualification is just to do devotional service sincerely. You don't have to be born in Brahmana family. You don't have to be born in the, in India. Yeah, many years ago, there is big debate in Indonesia regarding Indian guru and Western guru. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Wherever you were born, in which family you were born, Shukla Haridas Thakur was born in the Mohammedan family. Yet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded him the title of Namacharya. So what is the qualification of performing devotional service? Just our eagerness to perform that devotional service. Yeah. Okay. Up to chapter 14. Were there any questions or comments? Otherwise, we can stop here for now, and we can continue from chapter 15 in our next class Sunday morning. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare